Faced a bunch of time. Oh,
wow. Austin Dillon.
Caution.
That
The
car's-
11 car had a right front tire
that car's
down.
in the gravel. The 3 stuck.
Stuck in the gravel.
Yeah, he's stuck.
You're gonna
Caution.
see a caution.
In the 11.
Oh, big time stuck.
Racing for 20th place were Austin Dillon and
Caution
Denny
is
Hamlin. Yeah, that's high-sided. That's not coming out of there without the hook.
Bobbed it in there and locked up both fronts and wiped you out.
All right, Kevin. Now who is a benefactor of that?
The 2025 EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas delivered high-octane drama when Denny Hamlin crashed into Austin Dillon during the final stage on lap 78. This incident not only affected both drivers' races, but significantly altered the outcome of the entire event. What started as a battle for 20th position ended with one car in the gravel and sparked controversy across the NASCAR community. Denny Hamlin's troubles at COTA started from the moment NASCAR waved the green flag. Heading into turn 1, Ty Gibbs hit Hamlin on the right side, ripping the fender off the number 11 Toyota Camry. This early damage immediately put the Joe Gibbs Racing driver at a disadvantage. The day continued to deteriorate for Hamlin when he received a penalty for shortcutting turn 5, pushing him further back in the field. COTA has proven to be a challenging track for Hamlin throughout his career, with the driver finishing 14th or worse in all 5 of his starts at the road course. On lap 78, while battling with Austin Dillon for 20th position, disaster struck in turn 6A, appropriately nicknamed Calamity Corner, at the 2.3-mile national course. Hamlin attempted to pass Dillon through the S's by pulling to the left to get on his inside. What Hamlin couldn't see until he pulled out from behind Dillon was that the track had dirt scattered across the surface. On his podcast, Actions Detrimental, Hamlin described the experience. As soon as I went left to pass him, I wasn't offline or anything, but I could see the track had shit all over it. You can't see that until you pull out a line. I'm up his ass and we're going through the S's. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go left here and get on the inside. As soon as I went left, I hear shit hitting the fenders. No, as soon as I touched the brake, spun out.
Like, that's what it is. So as soon as I went left to pass him, like, I wasn't like offline or anything, but I could see the track had all over it. And you can't see that until you pull out a line. I'm up his ass and we're going through the S's and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go left here and get on the inside. As soon as I went left, I hear, hitting the fenders, and it was like, as soon as I touched the brake, it spun out.
The number 11 car lost control, slamming into the side of Dillon's number. 3 Chevrolet. The impact sent Dillon's car spinning into the gravel trap where it became stuck. Television replays showed a dirt cloud trailing behind Hamlin's car moments before the collision. The incident brought out the final caution flag of the race, forcing NASCAR to line up the drivers for a restart on lap 83. While Hamlin was able to continue racing, Dillon's car needed to be towed out of the gravel. Despite efforts to get back on track, the damage was done. Dillon recorded his first DNF of the season, finishing in 35th place. Hamlin didn't fare much better, finishing 21st after what could only be described as a miserable day at COTA. This crash had significant repercussions beyond just Hamlin and Dillon. Kyle Busch, Dillon's Richard Childress racing teammate, had been dominating the race. At the time of the incident, Busch held a comfortable 2-second lead over William Byron and appeared poised to snap his 59-race winless streak. The caution flag changed everything. When racing resumed, Christopher Bell, Hamlin's Joe Gibbs racing teammate, capitalized on having fresher tires. Busch, whose tires were worn by that point, couldn't maintain his advantage during the restart. Once we had that yellow, you're just in defense mode, Busch explained after the race. Despite leading a race-high 42 laps, Busch fell to 5th place, extending his winless drought to 60 races. Bell went on to secure his 2nd consecutive victory of the season. Following the race, Denny Hamlin took full accountability for the incident. On his Actions Detrimental podcast by Dirty Mo Media, Hamlin revealed that he had texted Austin Dillon to apologize. Hamlin said, "I texted Austin and said, listen man, I apologize. I ran through shit. It's no excuse. It's still on me no matter what the circumstances, so it certainly screwed RCR over in more ways than one."
I mean, I texted Austin and said, listen man, I'm apologize. I ran through. I mean, it's no excuse. It's still on me no matter what the circumstances. So it certainly screwed RCR over in more ways than one.
Hamlin compared the experience to hitting black ice on a road, noting that once his tires hit the dirt, there was nothing he could do to prevent the crash. He acknowledged that the incident hurt Richard Childress Racing doubly, ruining both Dillon's race and costing Busch a potential victory. It would have been interesting to see how the race played out. Given the outcome, Hamlin's teammate Bell winning after Kyle Busch lost his lead due to the caution, conspiracy theories quickly circulated among fans. Some speculated that Hamlin intentionally caused the crash to help Bell secure the victory. Hamlin forcefully rejected these claims on his podcast. Let me educate the conspiracy theorists. I am a competitive person, as you may know. There is nobody that I hate seeing win more than my teammate because I know they're driving the same thing that I'm driving. I know every driver's like, oh, I'm so happy for my teammate winning. I mean, I love Christopher Bell. He's a great dude, but I don't want him to beat me. He continued. Like, that's not a good look for me. You always measure yourself off your teammates, and trust me, I never saw the lead all day. I had no fucking idea who was up front. Hamlin further emphasized, it was no given that Kyle was going to win. I hated it because Kyle just did an awesome job all day long leading the race. We ended up having a great race anyway, but it was certainly a caution he didn't want to see either. While Hamlin took responsibility, Austin Dillon appeared less than satisfied with the explanation. When NASCAR posted a video of the incident on their official X account with the caption, "The numbers. 3 and 11 make contact and the yellow flag flies," Dillon responded hours later. Correction, the number 11 made contact with the number 3, Dillon wrote, clearly placing blame on Hamlin for initiating the contact. This subtle correction suggested Dillon viewed the incident as more than just a racing accident. The Richard Childress Racing driver, who is also team owner Richard Childress's grandson, seemed to imply there might have been intent behind Hamlin's actions. Dillon's response on social media did not go over well with many NASCAR fans. Rather than garnering sympathy, his comment triggered significant backlash from the community. Fans were quick to remind Dillon of his own aggressive driving history, particularly referencing the 2024 Richmond incident. During that race, Dillon was involved in 2 significant contacts on the final lap. First, he drove into Joey Logano, sending him up the track. Then, he turned down and hooked Hamlin's number 11 car, causing it to slam violently into the outside wall. Despite this aggressive driving, NASCAR allowed Dillon to keep the win, but removed his playoff eligibility. Fans didn't hesitate to remind Dillon of this history. "Receipt paid from Richmond. You'll be alright," wrote one fan about the COTA incident. Another commented, "Good thing you never cleaned anyone out." Another fan replied, "No one forgot Lil Bro," including video footage from Richmond showing Hamlin crashing hard into the fence. Some were even more direct. "Now you're crying? When you absolutely destroyed both the number 22 and the number 11 at Richmond last year? How does this one work, cowboy?" Both Hamlin and Richard Childress Racing will look to bounce back at the upcoming race in Phoenix. For Kyle Busch, Phoenix represents another opportunity to break his now 60-race winless streak. The veteran driver, despite his disappointment at COTA, has already shifted focus to the next challenge.